Here we are today.
Yes,
Beautiful day.
you
A
bet.
little windy, but
It is a little windy.
it's been in the 50s.
Allergies are up, and of course, sneezing makes everybody freak out because COVID.
Yeah, but you know what happens with now we have the juniper situation up here now.
Yeah.
Kind of gets us. But today, before we do this, we're going to have a little shoot. We're going to talk about IWI just for a second because
Okay.
I've always been intrigued by the company, Israeli Weapons Industries.
Yes.
IWI, and I've always liked the Travor product, and you know how much I love my shotgun, which of course we still haven't done the actual shoot with because we don't have lead free and we have
So
to shoot
close.
it outside.
So close.
So that's coming real soon. And then they had their Jericho, which we always liked, which was their military pistol.
Yes.
And then they upgraded that. So let's talk about that right
Yeah,
now.
the Jericho I liked, but it wasn't like, I don't know, something about it. So I'm walking around SHOT Show this year, and I get on the floor intermittently, and I walk down, and we went over to the IWI booth, and funny thing is they had a patch, and I think it's right here. So they had this patch. I'm like, wow, that's a cool patch. Where's that? And they're like, oh, yeah, that's the new handgun. It's the Masada. And I'm like, okay. Picked the thing up, put it in my hand, and it was like, wow.
It's a fantastic striker gun. And just a little bit about it, I mean, it has a modular trigger assembly, which is kind of neat. They don't have a lot of options for it. It's also optics ready, you notice on the top.
Yep.
And I think it comes with 3 different plates for the most popular optics out there.
I didn't check the plate. I know it has 3 different grips.
Yeah, it's got different grips.
That are in the box.
It's got the polyagonal rifling and hammer forged barrel, kind of like an HK. It's a quality piece. So let's just do the shoot real quick and let's talk about it.
Okay. Also, let's take a look. I'm going to show my target as well.
Okay, so looking at the target. Now, for me, this grip is just a hair small, and it comes with different grips.
Right.
And also on Glocks and revolvers, they have a different grip angle considerably. So when you take a revolver or Glock and you put your hand out and lock your elbow down, it sights up perfectly.
Right.
When I did it with this, I shot low about 3 inches. You can see on the target it was all low, but it was smooth. And I think I could offset that by just a little practice. I'm not used to it.
Right.
But the gun itself, the quality of it and how it pushes back instead of lifting a lot, had a very nice recoil to it.
Now my target was closer. You didn't see me shooting, but it was closer. So it was like, I want to say 5 to 7 yards just to see for self-defense. And dead on exactly where, without first shot, was literally dead right in the middle of one of the circles.
No, it's a fantastic gun. So let's give it a score.
Okay.
But a little bit more about it. I don't know what else to say. I think a lot of people haven't given it a chance or they haven't looked at it. A couple of interesting things. It's under $500.
Yeah.
This gun with 2 magazines. Magazines are made in Italy like a lot of the magazines are made.
Yeah.
An excellent magazine. I think it's 17 rounds.
Yes.
For here.
Yes.
And I guess they have some 10 rounds if you're in a place that only has 10. A 3-dot sight system, and it is set for an optic. And you can change out that. And it's got a nice grip angle. It's similar to a 1911, but it's a lighter gun, so you have to get used to that. But
right.
I like it. It's very nice. So let's just go to score.
Okay.
Category representation is going to get an A, of course. It's a CCW defense category. It's an IWI manufacturer, Israeli Weapons Industry, and it's called a Masada, which has to do with their standoff against the Romans on the top of that hill. It's a good history thing to look up. This is a 9mm, of course. Manufacturing history is getting an A because this is a country, I mean, a company that. And a country
that knows what they're doing when it comes to guns.
But they have been in a war situation for a long time. Intuitive safe handling, of course, it's an A. A finger off the trigger. It's got drop safeties and all that other stuff on it. Carry options a B, only because, of course, it's a holster and it's fairly new. And there's only 2 or 3 that I know that are good holsters out there for it. I know there'll be more. Function A, feel. I put a B and A on it because I know it would be an A to me if I changed that back grip and I shot it again. Holding it down like that and locking down a little bit, I probably should have thought of that before I shot it. Cost, of course, $480. Shootability an A. So we're going to give it an overall A, which is and then for the taking in the money, taking in the history of the company.
Right.
And then I'm glad you talked yourself into one of these.
Yeah, no, it was literally, it was picking it up at shot and going, okay, got to have this one. Yeah, it was like literally, it's so, you know, I can grab this in any situation and be on target. And that has to do with, just so you understand, that's not me judging a gun, it's judging my fit with the gun. That's what you got to understand.
If it fits you at the beginning, it's easier to learn with.
Yeah, it's about finding that thing that fits you, not so much just, everybody gets stuck down on gun. Oh, 1911, 1911. Well, if you fit a 1911, then a 1911 is going to be best for you.
And then the weight fits you and everything else, because this is a light gun. This kind of reminds you of one other gun that's a sleeper gun too. It's made by a different company, Beretta. Is it APX or?
APX or?
APX.
Yeah, I don't know.
And it's a real low in the hand, but it's heavier than this. This is a fantastic gun.
But you can't go wrong. I really don't bbelieve with this. And like you said, you can add optics to it pretty easily. It's funny, you probably spend more on the optics than you do on the gun. Yeah,
actually, there's a plate for one of the, I think it's under $300 optic from. No, I can't think of it. The ones that we sell so many of, and I can't think of them right now. But anyway, there's one set for the Delta Point, and there's another, two other plates that come with it.
Very cool.
And I just don't remember the name. That's awful. Anyway.
Hey, well, make sure you're checking out. Yes, ammo is running a little bit low. Everybody's buying, but the nice thing is it's in the type of ammo. Back when we had the 22 issues, 22s are hard to keep up with because of the rimfire and the way that they basically paint the primer in the inside of the cartridge.
Yes.
So 9mm stuff like that, they can ramp up and they can push out more production. So that will get restocked as it goes, probably faster than toilet paper in the United States. So
yeah, how many rounds do people need if they're not shooting them that much? You know, they are heavy.
So
and it's actually Vortex.
But it is the end of the world.
Vortex is the other.
Vortex is the one. So I might have to pick up a Vortex for mine.
I can't remember what model it is, but it's fantastic. So much with this gun for that price, and the history of the gun.
Yep.
Sometimes when we always talk about the company's history, you know, what's their reliability issues, and you know what Glocks are like, you know what Smith is
Talk
like.
a little bit about why a CCW comes into play right now, and if you have one, it's a good thing.
Oh, what happened?
Yeah.
Well, what happened with the NICS, which of course guns aren't registered. We're in Arizona, but there's still a background check, which is a national law.
Yep.
And it goes to, we call it NICS, and that got real slow, and they started delaying people. And then they started changing the delay rules to you cannot release it until actually it is released.
Right.
And it's not the 3-day rule, which we make 4.
Right.
So it could be any distance. And then after that, it actually went down. And it went down on Saturday, or excuse me, on Friday around 2 o'clock.
Not the wait time.
No, the actual whole system went down. And then all the way through Saturday, half day. So the only way you could get a gun at the time is if you had a CCW permit for Arizona, because then we don't use the NICS form. We still fill it out.
Right.
You still fill the form out, but we don't have to call it in.
Right.
At that, you know, so we use that as it takes place of the actually getting the call-in number. So having that, so people were still selling some guns as long as they had a CCW permit.
There you go.
And the other ones we just took on layaways and stuff, and they were waiting for, and then a few days later they started getting notes back that they could pick them up. But other than that, just having a CCW gives you this travel area around here.
There you go.
And we're so close to New Mexico, we're close to Nevada, so there's some advantages to it. And that was a big advantage.
Yeah. Cool.
So
hey, so check out thehubaz.com. Make sure you're checking out Facebook, Instagram. I'm Birdman.
And I'm Bruce, and be safe.
Tell them.
It's time for we're going to have a
subscribe
pledge break. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
We'll keep going.
Appreciate it.